Hi, I'm Linda DuHadway, and I'm going to be the instructor for this section of CS 2350 this semester. I'm glad you're going to be joining me in this course. We're going to be learning about several different languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we're going to use those languages to create web pages and a website. So by the time you get done, you'll have a portfolio of several pages that we create during this semester. I wanted to kind of show you around. When you first log on to Canvas, choose CS 2350, and that will open you up to this page that lists the different modules that are available. The first one is Getting Started. You're already doing Watch the Welcome video. After that, you might want to check out the syllabus and be sure to schedule enough time to get the work done for this course. The next section is a series of general resources. These are tools and reference items that will be helpful as you move through the course. And you can collapse each of these sections as you go through them. And then you'll see a unit. We begin with Unit 1, and there are 13 units in this course. And they'll all be structured very similar to each other. So there will be a discussion, and this is where we will communicate with each other. And I suggest that you go into the discussions and that you subscribe to them. And you do that by clicking on this bookmark link where you can just subscribe on all of them. I have them all opened up so that you can subscribe to all the discussions all at once. And we won't be using this till later, but if you go in and do that subscribe process, then when we start communicating on these other units, you will automatically get those notifications. The other thing that you need to do is to go into your account and set your notifications to be able to receive those discussions somewhere where you are used to getting them. So you can have them forwarded to your email or your phone or wherever you would like to see those. And then with each unit, I'll post a welcome, kind of an overview section of it, and then you can reply to these, and you just simply click on that and reply, and here's where you can ask questions or share information. Maybe you have some tools and tips that make the work easier for fellow students, but you can participate in this discussion if you want. This is not a graded interaction, but it's an informative one. It's a place where you can get information and share information with others. The next thing in a unit is notes. So Unit 1 notes will show up, and this is a PDF file that you can download and use. And it is just an outline of the topics that we'll be covering for this particular unit. What I recommend is that you create your own. Use this as kind of a basis, but that you create your own set of notes that you write and keep track of. As you write those, you'll remember them better, and it'll give you an idea of the things that is expected that you'll know by the end of the unit. After that, there are 3 assignments, 3 things that you'll actually be turning in, but these are really different one from another, and they're designed to make this learning available to you in an online manner. So first there will be a learning activity, and this activity is something that we'll do together. So to begin with, you'll get started by downloading and opening some files, and this will have the code for you to get started with. And then there will be a series of videos. And what you'll do is you'll open up that code, and as you watch the videos, you can do the code along with me. So I'll be doing it on these videos and talking about it and explaining it, and you can do it along with me. And then when you're done, there will be an example solution, so you'll be able to see how closely yours matches, and you'll want to keep working on yours till it matches this solution. And then you'll turn it in. So you'll turn in the work that you've done, that really we've done together. And you'll submit that, and then I'll review those and grade them based on this list of items that I'll be looking for when I grade. And that's the learning activity. And that's where to begin with each unit, is to go through this and learn. Then the next thing, and you'll see this coming up next, is the practice. And the practice is a very similar activity, so it'll cover the same topics, but this time, rather than having videos, you'll get the startup files, and then you'll get written instructions, and these will be very brief. They're really based on that you've already gone through the learning activity, so you've learned how to do these, So these instructions will just walk you through, do this step, do this step, do this step. And so you'll walk through and change the code using that. Then you'll also get, again, an example solution so you know where you're headed and you can see how close you are. That way you can complete the work to spec before you turn it in, so you'll know exactly what the end result is to look like. And then again, you submit that file, so you zip it back up and turn it in. And again, I list those things that I'll be looking for when I grade it. Both the learning activity and the practice activity are worth 12 points. And those two, the learning activities will be 15% of your grade. The practice activities will be another 15% of your grade. Then there's a homework. So for each unit, there will be a homework assignment. And this homework assignment, it outlines what you are to do. And this will be based on the topics that we've covered in the learning activity and the practice activity. So by now, you'll be very comfortable with the material. And you can move through and accomplish what's the instructions for the assignment. Now, if you have questions anytime during this process, send me an email or post a question on the discussion so that we can keep an ongoing correspondence. I've provided lots of information and resources for you, but I would love to help you individually. So send me an email or post something on the discussion. I'm happy to answer questions. Actually, a really good idea to do that as early as possible, and we can share that information and those questions and answers so that everybody can hear those answers and questions. And then each assignment will have instructions for how to submit the assignment, a note about doing your own work. This will be individual work. We're just learning this material, and the best way to learn it is by doing it. So for this course, it's very much an individually based work that you will be doing and turning in. And then there'll be a list of things that will be looked at as I'm grading. These are the things I'll be watching for when I'm doing the grading. After those, then there in that same unit, there's going to be a list of reading materials. We're going to be doing the work online, and our materials are online. So rather than buy a textbook, what I've done is link to reference materials that are available freely online. So here's a list of those ones that you'll look. Notice that many of these will come from W3 schools, and then a variety of other things. So there'll be a list of readings. Now, each one of these are usually brief. They're just a single web page, not very long, have examples and chances for you to actually try out the code. So it's a really nice resource. And then below the readings are additional videos. And these are really cover the topics that are covered in the learning activities and the practice activities. If you want a second perspective, you want to kind of see it again, then you can watch these. And they just really are an additional perspective of those same topics. And then at the bottom, there'll be some other resources that you might find helpful. And that's what units look like. And they'll be very similar, one unit to the next. So that's what the course looks like. That's how you'll move through it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Welcome to this semester.